Hello, and welcome to the NIFSA Open Doors Film Panel Series. I'm Professor Jeffrey Wysotsky, and we're coming to you live from the studios of Bronx Community College. This program is for film students across New York State and is being produced today by students in the BCC Media and Digital Film Club. It's a great time to be a film student in New York, thanks to Governor Cuomo's Film Tax Credit Program. It means that film and television production is booming. Today we'll be discussing filmmaking, producing, and cinematic storytelling with three people who know a lot about the subject. Producer Barbara DeFina, who's produced such iconic films as Goodfellas and The Age of Innocence. Brian Bell. Brian Bell's producing upcoming Ang Lee film, Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk, and also Todd Haynes' upcoming feature, Wonderstruck. And Declan Baldwin, who produced the Oscar-winning films Still Alice and Far From Heaven. Welcome to the program. Our film students in the audience and students watching this program online want to know the story of how you, producers, got started. What was the entry point for you? What were some of your first jobs? Barbara?
Well, when I started, I didn't know I wanted to work in film. I thought I wanted to work in theater. So I was out looking for a job, looking for some entry point, and couldn't find anything. So I figured I'd do the next best thing and get as close as I could. I got a job at a company that made television commercials. And I was working in the office. And one day, after like a week, somebody came in. It was like a scene out of a bad movie. They said, "Get over to the studio." And I said, "Studio? What's the studio?" You know, and they had a little studio where they produced their commercials. And when I got in there and I met everyone, I decided this is what I want to do. And so they helped me. They introduced me to other people, and I got a union. They helped me get in the union as a production coordinator. And I met more people, like Sidney Lumet was doing a movie. The first movie I ever worked on was the Sidney Lumet movie with all these big stars, and I was hooked. And I got
that wasn't a Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3, was it?
No, it was earlier than that, much earlier. It was called Last of the Mobile Hotshots, which nobody has ever seen and didn't do well. But it was a great place to start learning.
Brian?
I never knew I wanted to be in film. I wound up in film school after studying communications, and then was sort of belched out into New York, not knowing what to do. Went on the mayor's office of New York Tech List, got an internship, and one thing led to another. I got my first paid job as craft services after slugging it out for about 6 months. That led to PA work, more PA work, and I didn't have the fast track story that you may have been more fortunate with, but I knew I wanted to do it. And I kind of abandoned everything else I was doing in my life and focused everything on it. I wanted to be a writer and a producer. The producing worked out, the writing not so much. And just small projects turned into bigger projects, and here I am.
I know everyone in the audience saw 21 Jump Street. Raise your hand. There you go.
I did the second one.
All right, there you go.
22 Jump Street.
You saw the second one, 22 Jump Street. Declan.
I answered an ad in the back of the Village Voice in the summer of 1985 for unpaid interns. I was working at the Russian Tea Room, and I was taking some film classes at the New School. And I was just getting very tired of being, on the outside looking in, wondering how I could enter the film business. And I saw that ad. I interviewed for a job which was literally 18 hours a day, 6 days a week, no pay. Now that's changed since then, but that was typical in 1985 of what it meant to be an unpaid intern on a feature film.
This question is for all of you on the panel. It came out of a discussion, Barbara, about something you said on the Charlie Rose show, that the more you go on the set, the less it means when you're there. As producers, when do you go on the set? and tell us about what you do when you go on the set. Our film